How's it going, everybody? All right, I have a deep dive into an issue of Flex from August 1998. Look at that. Now, I already know that I've been through this before. I already know that well, we'll get to that later. It's just this one is in pretty good condition, although a couple of pages are ripped out. But the funny thing is, they're still in the book. So I don't know how the hell that happened. I really don't. Don't know how that happened. Like you rip pages out and you put it back in the book. I mean, I bought this. I don't know how that happened. My memory is not that good. It's a long freaking time ago. But when pages are usually ripped out of a magazine, they are no longer there. But go figure. All right. So, Fedrin, under attack, the truth. So, guys, in a perfect world, I would actually like to talk more about what I see in these magazines, but it often doesn't go that way because, since I've actually been doing YouTube, I tend to come to these videos kind of pissed off. Because I just all of the bullshit. YouTube is saturated, with a lot of different channels, obviously, and as far as fitness, and I hate to even use the word fitness because it's so overused. I usually prefer to use the term strength training, but as far as the fitness industry, it's just saturated. And I think a lot of the people don't belong here. You know what I mean? I think the vast majority of them don't belong here, because they don't really know shit about it. And I get so pissed off, man. I think there's just so many phonies on the internet. And honestly, there were phonies on TV back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember the fitness personality Body by Jake. I don't remember his real name or his last name, but his show or his platform was called Body by Jake. And he used to use terms like battissimo. All right, this is for the old battissimo, the battissimo muscle. Talking about the glutes, the gluteus maximus, and, perhaps the gluteus medius, so forth and so on. But what the fuck is a battissimo? So there've always been phonies, and with all due respect, I don't think I said Little Richard. I don't think Richard Simmons really knew anything. He was just a personality. He had people get their heart rates up, but he didn't really, know very much about it, from like a real scientific, technical standpoint. But I saw a thumbnail for a video that just got me pissed off, man. Just fucking pissed off, man. It's how to tighten and tone your abs with one exercise results in 5 days. And it's just pissed me off, man. And the person who made this video, like, I don't remember their name, and I wouldn't mention it even if I did know it, but I don't remember the name. But they're supposedly a fucking doctor. It's whatever the name is, there's a doctor in front of it. DR period. Doctor. It's like, they're supposed to be a doctor. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck kind of doctor are we talking about here, man? You fucking witch doctor? You a witch doctor? Are you going to concoct a potion from the fucking crushed testicles of a goat and the gills of a fucking blowfish? Is that how you're going to make people slender? With one exercise? Results in 5 days? Is this some fucking mystical supernatural shit that, we mortals can't fucking understand? Piss me off, man. A doctor? Give me a fucking break. Now, to be fair, I didn't look at the video because the thumbnail pissed me the fuck off, because the thumbnail is misleading. But, you know, to be fair, maybe they explain what I just, you know, the truth in the video. I started to say what I just explained, but I didn't explain it yet, but I'm getting to that. Okay, because the truth is, okay, if you're already genetically slender with low body fat, sure, you can do some planks or some fucking stomach vacuums or some double crunches, you know, some V-ups. There's a multitude of different movements you can use if you have the genetics and you're already slender with low body fat. But, you know, what about the fat motherfucker that sits on the fucking couch and eats entire bags of Doritos, like the big ones, not the snack size, but the big fucking family size Doritos, and multiple fucking pizzas and Burger King, and sits around and farts all day, and he weighs 400 pounds. So is he gonna do this one exercise and look like Sean Ray and have a fucking midsection like Sean Ray in his prime, you know, with one exercise? What is the fucking one exercise? Is it fucking liposuction? Is that the exercise? Give me a fucking break, man. It's so much bullshit on YouTube, from these fitness channels in particular. God damn. That's bullshit. Exercise does not work that way. And people are so goddamn lazy. You know, you tell them one exercise, you mention one exercise. Like, oh, do this in one exercise. These motherfuckers will click so fast they'll break their goddamn fingers. Oh, one exercise? Oh, millions of views, and you fucking morons are being played for fools. Okay? No, you cannot tighten and tone. And whoever the fuck calls this shit tightening and toning is a fucking amateur. Okay? We talked like that back in the fucking 80s. Trainers talked like that back in the day. Tighten and tone. What the fuck is that? All right, the correct definition for tone, muscle toning, is actually contraction. You know, some people have low muscle tone, which means that they have a problem with with muscular contractions. You know, there's something I read about that years ago. But, you know, tone is actually muscular contractions. You know, but people use it to describe this: visible muscles, visible, discernible, aesthetic, muscular definition and detail. You know, but who the fuck, you know, really tighten and tone, that terminology irks the shit out of me. Because me being a real trainer that does this shit for a living and have been doing it, you know, for decades, man, almost 3 fucking decades. You know, I don't remember hearing any of my coworkers say, "Oh, we're gonna tighten and tune your fucking..." Man, get the fuck out of it. We don't talk like that. You know, we're gonna, you know, develop some core strength and stability. We're gonna engage your abdominals. We're gonna activate your abdominals. You know, that's how we talk. You know, so anybody that talks about tightening and toning, man, you're a fucking amateur. You know, people who really are in this industry professionally don't use that type of fucking goofball ass term. Tighten and tone my nuts. You know, tighten and tone your abs in one exercise and results in 5. Man, get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. And I guess, you know, I really do love this shit, man. I mean, I made a career of it. I study it all the time. I'm always learning more. And I'm genuinely passionate about it, you know, as using it as a fountain of youth, pretty much. And it just, when people just make up shit, they're just shitting all over it. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I genuinely care about it. You know what I mean? And I won't tell a lie about it for anybody. You know what I mean? Because I have a real reputation, you know, locally and maybe eventually nationally and internationally, you know, with these videos. But just as far as in my area, I'm known as an excellent fucking personal trainer. I train some of the most difficult motherfuckers. I'm going to train somebody that's like 90 fucking 7 the day after tomorrow for the first time. 90 fucking 7. Okay? You can't just train somebody that's that old, you know, without knowing what the fuck you're doing, because you can potentially hurt them. You know what I mean? I deal with this with some of the most difficult, advanced people that you can imagine. You know what I mean? And they care a lot about, they care about a lot more than just having big muscles. You know what I mean? And it's way more complicated. You know what I mean? And it's just, I care about it. You know what I mean? And I'm legit. And it's just, you know, I struggle to get like 300 views on some of these fucking videos that I do. And yet there's motherfuckers that are talking straight bullshit to you. Like making shit up, pulling shit out. And enough already with this shit about the best exercises according to science. The best bicep exercises according to science. God damn it. Your biceps are here for one reason. You have biceps because they are meant to flex the elbow. It's called elbow flexion. Okay, and the function of the bicep is to pull the radius bone up toward the humerus bone. That's what your biceps are for. Okay, any fucking exercise that enables you to do that is going to improve your nervous system, therefore improving your capacity to do this, you know, along with improving your bone density, so you'll be better at doing this. This is elbow flexion. Elbow flexion. That's what it's called. Elbow flexion. It's not big biceps. It's not fucking elbow. It's not big biceps. It's elbow flexion. It's a function. It's not just about what you see, you clowns. You fucking YouTube clowns. It's not just about these big muscles here. It's about the function. It's about the biomechanics. This is elbow flexion. It pulls the radius bone up toward the fucking humerus bone. So any exercise you do that engages this functional capacity is a good exercise. But of course, the best exercises, the best bicep exercises according to science, based on muscle growth. You know, the ones that stimulate the most fast twitch muscle fibers, they're talking about the ones that engages, you know, the biggest, fullest part of the biceps at once. You know, the exercises that produce the most neuromuscular activation at once, you know, therefore causing, you know, more muscle breakdown, you know, therefore, you know, building the most muscle. And of course, that shit is genetically predetermined. Okay, it isn't universal. It isn't. Okay, it's genetically fucking predetermined. You know, no matter how much neuromuscular activation you get, no matter how much of the cross-sectional fiber area that you stimulate, you know, the cross-sectional fiber area, it's still genetic anyway. You know, but what they're talking about is the exercises that help your biceps grow the best according to science. And whoop-de-fucking-do. You know, your bullshit, man, is out of control. You know, because at the end of the day, it's still genetic. You know, there are people whose biceps are not going to get bigger at all. At all. At all. At all. No matter what you do. So that's bullshit. The best chest exercises according to science. They're talking about in terms of muscle growth. You know, not everybody, I mean, this guy's chest is above average. It's not like amazing. It's not like Lou Ferrigno's in his prime, but it's a good chest. But not everybody can build that, you know, according to science. That's according to science. You know what I mean? And again, there are people who aren't going to see any results. There are people who aren't going to see any results. I mean, and if they do, it'll be so minimal that it'll be barely noticeable, and that'll be their genetic peak. That's it. That's all they're capable of. That's it. It's a done data for your ass, and as far as muscle growth. So all of this shit about all the best exercise, there are a lot of videos about that. The best delt exercises according to science. It's clickbait bullshit. All right. You know, and if all you're talking about is muscle growth, man, you got it, man. You kill me with that shit, man. I'm knocking shit over. You kill me with that shit. Muscle growth. You kill me with that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I wonder how, you know, my knowledge of muscle growth is going to help me when I train this 97-year-old lady Wednesday. I wonder, yeah, man. She wants bigger biceps. She wants to be able to wipe her own ass, man. Fucking clowns. She wants to be able to wipe her own fucking ass, man. Damn. You know what I mean? People are ridiculous. They're ridiculous, and it really makes this whole industry into a clown show. Because, you know, you spend more time dispelling bullshit than you do actually training people. You know, you have to train certain clients for years before. I think that's Chris Cormier. You have to train clients for years, man, before they can pull their heads out of their asses. You know, because it's almost like, have you ever heard of a cult exeter? You know, I don't even know if they really exist, but I've seen them in movies. You know, but a cult exeter is someone that helps people who are indoctrinated from being in a cult. You know, like if you were a part of Jim Jones' organization, you know, and you perhaps survived the Kool-Aid situation, you know, some of those people essentially needed therapy. Let me show that picture. Some people essentially needed therapy because they were so indoctrinated by being in this cult. You know, so apparently cult exeters are just, I guess, therapists that help people come back to the real world. And as a personal trainer, half the time, I'm like a fucking cult exeter. When you're training people, the first few years is just helping them unlearn all this horse shit, you know, about toning and you know, lightweight and high reps tones your muscles, right? You know, no, that's a myth. You know, what do you do to get toned? You know, and I got to tell them that, you know, I can't necessarily guarantee. Well, that's a pretty good picture. I should show that. Like maybe I already did. That's a good shot. I can't necessarily guarantee that I can produce those type of results. And that's the truth. You know, it's genetically predetermined. So it's like being a cult exeter, you know, and you spend so much energy teaching people to get beyond the nonsense. I train an 83-year-old guy. I train him every Thursday. He only does once a week. He really should be doing more. It's ridiculous, but it's just laziness. But I train him once a week, and he kind of gets caught up in the weight. You know, this man's 83 years old, and he'll often think that he's not using enough weight. Oh, this is easy. I need more. Meanwhile, his form is shit. You know, his form is fucking terrible. I'm like, dude, you aren't even doing it right. And you're always asking for more weight. You're always asking for, it's so annoying. You know, if I was ever to really express myself, I'd curse him the fuck out. I say, dude, learn to fucking do the exercise properly before you ask to be fucking Hercules. You don't need more weight. You can barely do it with the weight you have now, you fucking clown. That's what I feel. You know, I can't say that. But I mean, you know, that's the reality of this business, man. I mean, you know, and he's just indoctrinated to believe that he's, you know, this man, he needs to be lifting heavy weight. And he, you know, the guy's actually an intellectual. That's the funny part. The guy's he taught, was it physics? I know he taught mathematics. Oh, he taught mathematics at UDC. You know, the guy has every fucking degree under the sun. Definitely very much into science. And as smart as he is, I still have to correct him about the weights. you know, and it's more important to practice proper biomechanics than to, you know, use heavy weight in while doing an exercise poorly. You know what I mean? And so some of his form, man, is just like it makes me cringe. You know, but he's steadily asking for more weight. You know, so that's something that you go through all the time. You know what I mean? Just people wanting to crawl before they walk, and you know, always thinking that they have to be like these guys. You know, even some of the smartest people I know. You know, some of the most together people. You know, otherwise they're pretty together. You know, but they're still indoctrinated by nonsense, and it's like a constant struggle. You know, and it's just fucking annoying, man. You know, and some of these people, you know, I find myself wondering, you know, if they actually know, you know, that they're full of shit, you know, or are they just knowingly doing the clickbait thing? You know what I mean? Because anybody can just say, hey, you know, tighten your abs in one exercise, you know, and just have them do planks or stomach vacuums or, you know, but that absolutely is not going to work for everyone. It's not going to work for most people, you know. So, you know, when I talked initially about the fat guy who sits on the couch and eats multiple bags of Doritos and entire pizzas and Burger King and farts all day, that one exercise is just ridiculous. The concept of one exercise for somebody in that situation is ridiculous. Because for one thing, if you're overweight, you're definitely going to have to include some cardiovascular activity. You're going to have to include a lot of cardiovascular activity. All right. And even then, if you do lose a significant amount of weight, guess what? If you've been obese enough, you're going to have a lot of skin. You're going to have all this skin. Okay, I've seen that 1,000 times. You know, people lose a bunch of body fat. And it's like, okay, you know, cause for celebration, right? But then at the end of the day, they end up with after all of that, they end up with tons of loose skin. You know, they look like a Shar-Pei. You guys ever heard of the dog, the dog breed Shar-Pei? I think that's the breed I'm thinking of. They tend to be wrinkled up. That's how they look, you know? So if you lose a bunch of body fat, you know, do you really think you're gonna see nothing but this? You know, you lose a bunch of body fat and the end result is this. Kevin Levrone has never been obese, you know? And I mean, and also he's super genetically gifted. I mean, he's known as like one of the most genetically gifted guys in the history of the sport. This guy right here, Kevin Levrone. You know, I heard that he would, pardon me, that he would take 6 months off after an Olympia. Or just, you know, long. That's amazing, by the way. This shot here is amazing, man. It's just awesome, dude. Look at that thickness. That's an amazing shot, man. But well, who got first? But Ronnie Coleman, okay. But I heard that he would take months off and then go back in the gym, you know, a few months before, you know, 4, 5, 6 months before the Olympia, and get in shape and slay like he usually did. You know, that's genetics. You know, but somebody who's been obese, you lose a bunch of fat, man, and the end result, you know, is less body fat, but a lot more skin. So the idea of just doing one exercise and all of a sudden you have a toned abdominals is just ridiculous. And it's so ridiculous, you know, that, you know, the people who people are just idiots, man. What can I say? You know what I mean? Because in me being a professional, to me, I mean, I've known that you could have suggested that to me 20 years ago, and I would have known that that's just bullshit. No, you can't use just one app. You could have told me that 30 years ago, and I would have known that, you know, just one ab exercise is not going to work universally. You know, I would have known it even then. You know, and just so I wouldn't have clicked on that shit 30 years ago. I would have been turned off by the misinformation. But people aren't, I guess, man. They aren't turned off by misinformation. They aren't. Just go ahead and lie to me. Just fucking lie to me. Whatever. Lie, whatever. People, dude. Fucking. Yeah. These are female bodybuilders here. I recognize Linda Murray. I feel a little better now. I'm almost toward the end of this magazine here. I feel a little bit better. But I was genuinely pissed at first, man. You know, like YouTube's algorithm, it tends to focus on channels with a lot of watch time. You know, so, okay. So, channels that have been around, you know, they've racked up the watch time and they get the priority. But the smaller channels, you know, that haven't racked up a bunch of watch time yet, they don't get suggested as often in people's feeds, you know. And when it comes to a saturated niche, it really gets annoying, man. You know, because this niche is so saturated. She has a wide ass back. Jeez. This niche is so saturated that it affects, you know, it affects your ability to get views. You know what I mean? And it's just, dude, so many of these people just shouldn't be here. Like, there's so many people that shouldn't just be here. There are some legit channels, you know, yeah, there's several of them. I don't want to say anybody's names, but there are other legit channels. So there's that. That I will say that knee over toes guy, you know, is very functional. I respect that. He really talks a lot about function and not just a bunch of nonsense about bigger, you know, making your muscles bigger. So, and the exercise scientist guy, I don't know his name, but he obviously knows what he's talking about and gives some good information. But, you know, I don't watch, you know, all of everybody's videos, you know, because I'm always afraid that I'm going to hear something stupid, something that doesn't make any fucking sense, something that's just propaganda. I'm always afraid that I'm going to hear that. You know what I mean? So I don't watch as many as I should. And I get so turned off by a lot of the thumbnails, man, because the thumbnail is a lie. And it's just, you know, clickbait. And it's just ubiquitous. It's fucking ubiquitous. Ubiquitous means everywhere, for those who don't know. Sorry for my big words, but it's ubiquitous. It is everywhere. The misinformation is like P. Diddy in the 90s. P. Diddy was ubiquitous. Back in the 90s, late 90s, P. Diddy was everywhere. Everywhere. And he's everywhere now. But he was ubiquitous. You know, just like misinformation on exercise. It is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's constant. You know, you get a constant supply of it. You know, and most people just don't know better. But you guys, man, you got to smarten up. You know, and another thing, you know, exercise is fucking hard, man. It is hard, just like everything in life. It is fucking hard. For fuck's sake, man, it is hard, and that's it. There's no way around it. So all this one exercise and to do this, you know, the only two exercises you need to do this, man, you guys need to grow some nuts, man. It's hard, man. If you want to strengthen your core, it's brutally fucking hard. All right, if you want to get a six-pack abs, you know, unless you have the genetics, well, if you don't have the genetics, it's never going to happen. But, you know, still, if you have moderate genetics, you know, and it's possible, but unlikely, it's going to be brutally fucking hard. You know, if you have back pain and you want to rehab it and alleviate your back pain, it's brutally fucking hard. If you want to improve your cardiovascular health, if you want to truly improve it, it's brutally fucking hard. If you want to increase your core strength, it's brutally fucking hard. You know, the big biceps, you know, unless you have the genetics, it's brutally fucking hard. And if your genetics are bad enough, there's some big biceps. If your genetics are bad enough, it'll never happen. It will never happen, you know. But it's all brutally fucking hard, you know. It's if you want to increase your mobility, even that's brutally fucking hard. If you want to rehab an injury, you know, it's brutally fucking hard, man. You know, enough with the easy shit and the, you know, one exercise to do this. 2 exercises are all you need to do this. Enough with that bullshit. You know what I mean? There is no easy way out. You know, with anything, really. There's just no fucking easy way out, man. You know, and when I see people attempt to sell an easy way out, I just want to strangle them. Okay? The easy way out doesn't exist. Grow some balls. Enough with this pussy shit. All right? There is no one fucking ab exercise that you can do that'll give you results in 5 days. There isn't just a single ab exercise that'll give you results in fucking 30 days. Unless you have the genetics. You know, like I said, if you're overweight and genetically challenged, you know, you aren't going to see, you know, tight toned abs. I hate that terminology. It's so corny. It's so outdated. But you aren't going to see tight toned abs in 6 months, let alone 5 days. All right? Grow some fucking nuts and stop lying. Fuck. All right, man. For those who made it this far, this is like, shit might be the longest one I've ever done. This is a big-ass magazine. Plus, I had a lot to say, but it's the longest one I've ever done, probably. Please like it. Click like if you liked it. Please subscribe if you liked it. Share, comment, and subscribe if I didn't say that already. And, you know, I'll see you guys on the next one. I'll try not to be so pissed the next time. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching PLA Mind and Body Works. I'll be back with more information on the personal training, the fitness industry, and strength training in general. Thanks. Bye.